a show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Romney Turtola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
Preventing infection is one path to a healthy lifestyle, something healthcare providers ought to be living up to. On this edition of The Big Story, we stepped outside recently to take a tour of an infection prevention showcase held at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. Stay tuned through to the end also to enjoy their fashion show.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Rosa Ravariere-Seaman. I'm the Infection Prevention and Control Manager here at BVI HSA. This week has been an exciting time for us. I am really excited. Today is the last day of activity here at BVI HSC. But for the week, we started off with a church service. We worship with the Church of God Holiness in East End. What a word. The pastor really resonated and we all left, empowered. After church service, we went to have lunch just as the Infection Control Committee and the friends that came with us, just, to talk and continue the goodness of God. On Tuesday, we had our opening ceremony right here in the lobby, and part of our activity during the opening ceremony was recognizing staff who have exemplified patient safety. And, so there were several staff, about 75 of our staff were recognized, just to say thank you for acknowledging that patient safety is a must and for going above and beyond. So we gave what we called the Caught You Shining certificate to them. And we know a lot of our staff are doing things that, make them shine, but there were some of the persons that, we saw doing things that make our staff shine and decided to recognize them then. On same Tuesday, we had a webinar, and let me get you the name because it's a little bit long. It was about welcome and sustainable systems need sustainable teams. A path forward for leveraging human potential in healthcare quality, because this week is also healthcare quality week. On Thursday, that was yesterday, we had, I think everybody who joined in can say we had an awesome CME presentation. What we did is antibiotic resistance is becoming a big problem worldwide. And even right here in the BVI, when we look at our stats, we are seeing increasing resistance among patients, not even patients, persons in our communities who have taken antibiotic. And it is very important to use antibiotic, what we call judiciously. You have the cold, you have the flu. That's not a bacteria, it's a virus. Therefore, you don't need antimicrobials for that. When you go to your doctor, the doctor says, whatever is going on with you is viral. Don't ask for the antibiotic because you don't need it. What is happening is increasing resistance to the antibiotics that we have on hand. And I can tell you, antibiotics being manufactured are few and far between. The bugs, they're really getting smart right now. They get the hard coats, and then when we do misuse them, and the antibiotics, and we're given the antibiotics, it's of no use. So if there's one thing I need you to remember, be judicious in your use of antibiotic. You don't need it, don't use it. The doctor gives it to you, take all of it. Don't stop it after you start feeling better on day 2 or 3. So during the CME, we presented BVIH, not just BVI-HSA, well, BVI-HSA data, which includes our community, because at our lab, we see a cross-section of the population. It's the main lab on our islands. So the data that we have there, it translates to what is happening in our communities. So community, we need to do better when it comes to the use of antibiotics.
So what's CME?
CME is continuing medical education. So our nurses, doctors, pharmacists to continue registering and to show that you're competent, that you always are learning. We have to do continuing medical education annually. There are set numbers that we have to do. So that was, again, one of the ways in getting our staff to, 1, learn, and 2, to meet their requirements. We also had a webinar, a recorded webinar. The topic was remaining relevant. In these days, with so many things happening, we had COVID, which had us on the good lockdown for a good 2 years, still trying to keep us locked. Monkeypox, which came, reared its head. If we're looking at world news, we have Ebola, which is trying to make a comeback. And so healthcare workers, which is a cross-section of the workers, are being hit one after the other with something, always something coming up. And, these things get you tired. You get weary. It's always something to fight. And infection prevention is in particular, because if we take note of what is happening, it's a lot of infectious diseases. So infection prevention is, I'm telling you, we haven't been able to catch a break for the last couple of decades. Every decade, there is a new infection. Why? Part of the reason is that, we men, we're always exploring and we're encroaching on the animal territory, and the animals are fighting back, simply put. Today now, we have our open house, and the displays, I'm telling you, part of how it came about is we came up with some topics. So we had monkeypox, the next top microbe. If the world stops hand hygiene now, 28 days later, those were the topics, some of the topics that were given to the staff. And from the display, we can see they went all out. We have some imaginative stuff, here at HSA. So kudos to HSA team. So we have the different displays. We also have some giveaways. Infection control is known for great giveaways. So everybody comes, can I? But we want you to get something, but to learn something. So we have some fun ways of learning where we have pin the PPE on the infection. You have different questions. You get it right, you get a token, just to make learning fun. And tomorrow we're going to culminate. No, before I go to tomorrow, part of this activity, we're having a fashion show, a PPE fashion show. And that now is just a fun activity. So we're going to be seeing garbage bags, maybe you'll see gloves, shopping bags. I'm not sure what they've used. All I know is it's going to be fun with the bringing out of the PPE fashion show. And that is something that persons usually look forward to, just a fun activity. We will be culminating the week with a lime at Norman Island. So we've worked hard, and I believe that if you work hard, you have to play hard. So we'll definitely be playing tomorrow. We might do a hike, definitely be on the beach, relaxing and having a bite to culminate our week. And I like the theme, and I deliberately left that for last, the theme for this year's Infection Prevention and Control Week. It says, the future is infection prevention. 50 years of infection prevention. So let me deal with the first part, which says the future is infection prevention. With all the diseases that's coming on board, we definitely know that preventing those infections are a big part of our job. Our, not meaning me as the infection preventionist, the healthcare workers in our various facilities. Our means our community. You, me, us, them, all of us have to do our part to prevent infection. What are some of the ways you're going to prevent infection? One of the number one ways is hand hygiene. You need to clean those hands. When I'm talking to staff, I say, our hands are healing hands, they can also be killing hands. So please clean those hands. Come on, cover your cough. If there is one thing COVID taught us, the importance of respiratory protection. That's it, Kathy. You definitely showed how to cover the cough. Environmental cleanliness. Sometimes what the ladies do, we as ladies, we go out and you're at the restaurant, you drop your bag on the floor. That's where you just walked in. What have your bag picked up? When you go home, where do you put your bag? On your dinner table. What are you eating then? If you just think on it, infection prevention and control, the number one way to keep you safe. The 50 years of infection prevention. So there's a particular association, which is APIC, Association of Professionals in Infection Control and Epidemiology. About 50 years ago, about 23 young ladies came together, nurses at that, and they decided, you know what, we're seeing an increase in infection. We're seeing one thing after the other. We need to have standardized practice, protocols that everybody can follow. And from that, APIC was born. So this month marks this year, the 50th anniversary. And I can tell you, I'm almost sure that it was the 15th of September, 1972, they started. EPIC, if you're listening, don't kill me. That's my birthday. So EPIC is celebrating 50 years. I'm celebrating 50 years. And EPIC together, we look good. So I want you to remember, folks, make your intention infection prevention. So keep you safe, keep me safe, keep us safe.
In this moment that you're celebrating the anniversary and observing infection and prevention of infections, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and the more understandable way for me.
Yeah.
We are now seeing further relaxation of COVID protocols, where now public service are saying from the 1st of November, no masks required. We've seen the hospital facility relax and go back to pre-COVID, but just saying at your bedsides, we recommend that you have. What are the precautions that you still need to share with people in the territory, because infections, again?
Definitely. And I want to say that while we're relaxing all our protocols, COVID isn't over. And I believe that COVID is going to be with us. It might become annually like the flu, where we have a peak at a particular season and wane, but I definitely believe it's going to be one of the diseases that stays with us. So you're in a public setting, lots of people, you may be somebody who's at high risk, things like diabetes, if you have heart condition, you have respiratory conditions. I would say to continue to use your mask. Personally, there are situations where I will definitely continue to wear my mask. You go out, you assess the situation. A lot of persons say, that's going to put you at high risk because you know what's going on with you health-wise. Wear your mask. That's additional protection. Within our healthcare setting, we've decided that once you go into the patient's bedside, you must have your mask. That, again, patient safety is our goal. We want, when patients come to our facilities, not just the hospital, but all our facilities, our health centers and everywhere, they feel safe, and not just feel safe, but we have measures in place that keep them safe. This is pharmacy infection prevention. And if we look at the display there, it shows the various pieces that the pharmacy department uses in preventing infection. So the first one says personal protective equipment. And pharmacy is telling you that if you put on your personal protective equipment, because right there in the pharmacy, there is need for personal protective equipment. Hand sanitizing, hand hygiene is the number one way of preventing the spread of infection. Our hands touch it, our hands take it around. And also speaking to the sanitization of the environment, and here we have one of our pharmacies cleaning the environment. Excellent. And counseling is also a big part, especially when it comes to taking the antibiotic, because some patients, by the time they start feeling better on day 3, they're like, I'm feeling better, let me stop it. But it's very important to speak to our patients and let them know the importance of continuing to the end. This display is from our lab team. What happens if you don't wash your hand? That is one of it. And I love that, because where lab started off is they're showing us the germiest places in our offices. Think of this. Do you ever think that, your printer might be very germy? the elevator button, everybody touches it. The phone, those are some of the germane places. Then you've touched them, and this is what your dirty hands would look like if it is plated on. So those are actually hands that were plated, and that the various germs that are on them. So in living color, we know our hands are always dirty. Hence, we need to always clean our hands. So if you clean your hands, okay, so your hands are dirty. What happens when you have dirty hands? You get sick. So you have this man in the bed, you have all the children at school excited to be learning, but because their hands are not clean, they're at risk of getting disease. We have hand, foot, and mouth, which went through our community. That is actually a disease that is easily spread by the hands. Contact, you touch, the one child touch goes to touch the other child, just like that, it can spread. And last month and the month before, it spread through our daycare like wildfire. So hand hygiene, environmental hygiene are one of the big ways of preventing that. No, so what would happen? You miss work, you lose money, and we know money is hard to come by, and the money doesn't stretch as much as before. So we definitely don't want to be losing any money. But how do you prevent that from happening? Here are some of our preventative actions. Wash your hands everywhere. You will see wash your hands. Then they show you how to wash your hands and some of the 5 important times that you must wash your hands. Keep your sanitizer close by. If you see me, mine is right here on my key card. That key card goes with me all over the hospital. My hand sanitizer goes with me all over too. And our lab personnel really went all the way. Here, this is showing. This is the microscope that is actually showing you what the bacteria looks like. And so really good display. Here we have a display on monkeypox by our dialysis team. And literally, the monkey is well caged, so that means, you know what, stay there, stop trying to come and infect us. Don't, BVI, we don't want you here at all. And this is the topic, the world's next top microbe, monkeypox, and some good information. And right there we have, displayed some information on monkeypox.
To learn about the disease, have a chat to your
Here we have a display by our behavioral health units, how many germs are on your hands at any one time. And this is really, really interesting. And that will definitely speak to the younger children the way it should be, hand hygiene should be done. Employee Health Services spoke about influenza. And we have the flu vaccine, which is available annually. A lot of persons don't take it because they say, oh, if I take it, I will get the flu. The flu vaccine does not cause the flu. It prevents you from getting the flu. And I can tell you, I am a proponent. I preach, I say definitely get the flu vaccine. Why? I remember growing up, even into my younger adult days, I got the flu every year. And for every year, for at least a week or two, I had to miss work because I got it so bad. Since I started taking my flu vaccine annually, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I have never been out sick with the flu. The flu vaccine works. Here is another display on how to save the world. So we'll save the world by performing hand hygiene. For healthcare workers, there are 5 moments for hand hygiene. There are times when, with patient interaction, you must clean your hands, and here are the 5 moments for hand hygiene. I also love this display. It says infection control, the various ways that we need to stop viruses and bacteria from transferring. Protect yourself and others from infection. The only time it is okay to be selfish as a human being is when you're thinking about infection prevention and control. Why? If you wash your hands, you're protecting yourself, you're also protecting me. You cover your cough, you're protecting you, you're also protecting me. So any measure that you do, thinking of you and your protection, you're automatically protecting our community. This is another display on monkeypox. This one was done by our medical surgical unit. And this is, again, excellent. It gives you a whole intro to monkeypox, what it is, the signs and symptoms, how it is transmitted, how it is diagnosed, treatment, what we get, and the ways that you can prevent yourself from becoming infected with monkeypox. I love this one. This was done by our primary healthcare team. It says, warning, disturbing content, viewer discretion advised. I don't know if you remember, if you're young enough, like me, to remember the days of the viewfinder. And here is the viewfinder. And when you move, yes, you turn it and you see the various faces of monkeypox, how it looks. And this is real innovation. I'm telling you, our staff at HSA, yes, we're really, really good. So the various pictures of monkeypox and some further information. So it's definitely the new kid on the block, but it's a kid that we're quickly trying to stamp out. 28 days later, if the world stops hand hygiene, what is going to happen? And again, this unit went down, broke it down day by day. So day number 1, the germs are passed on. And what happens? Days 2 to 7, that's a few days later, the person starts to present with flu-like symptoms, runny nose, coughing, and this is easy ways to transmit it. And then the different days, 28 days later, hand hygiene has not taken place. What happens? Death, loss of limb, loss of life, loss of income, loss of family time, loss of enjoyment time, because you can't go anywhere, you're sick. So hand hygiene, infection prevention and control, very important. This one speaks about, was just a fun game, pin the PPE on the infection. So we have different infections, MRSA, which is a superbug, and BVI community, we are seeing increasing rates of MRSA in our community, in our persons who are not hospitalized, persons in the community. And one of the ways that superbug spread is the misuse and inappropriate use of antibiotics. So what that is saying, we are using antibiotics in our community when we do not need to use antibiotics. We're probably not completing our antibiotics, and this is actually causing quite a big problem in our community.
Could you explain more what MRSA,
So
superbug?
So MRSA stands for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. So it's a staph infection that is resistant to methicillin or penicillin, and that antibiotic is the drug of choice to treat it. So what it has done, if we look at this, it has gotten a cape, no super. So it has a cape, and what happens is the antibiotic is supposed to come to the virus to kill it. But with that, it prevents the antibiotic from reaching the bacteria to kill it, and thus it survives. So when antibiotics come, just turn to it and say, you must be joking, I'm ready for you. And the patient continues to get ill. So that was really a hit among our staff in pinning the PPE. What the pin the PPE says, for example, this is swine flu. What PPE would you need to use as a healthcare worker, somebody in the public, to prevent yourself from getting swine flu? So you would need your mask. We have our COVID right here, or COVID bug. What PPE? And we saw a lot of persons in what we call the space suits right here. So this is somebody who was completing the answer. This again, one of our questions, we had this here, it says happy birthday, of course in keeping, and we have a set of questions in there. So start for deep, whatever question you get, you answer it. And one of the questions was actually to put on and remove your PPE in the correct order. It's okay to maybe put it on, sometimes there's an order, but it's okay to miss a step and do one before. But when you're removing it, it's very important to follow the steps, because that's actually the time when our healthcare workers are most likely to get infected during removal of PPE. Here we have some various reading material and puzzles, so persons can, again, increase their learning. Of course, who has an event without a photo booth? So we've made our photo booth. Big up Miss Janky. That's one of our lab personnel. One of our pharmacists actually did that. I gave her the idea and she ran with it. Job well done. So Kathy, you have to make sure you get a photo with our photo booth. This was our giveaway table. So, we had different items highlighting our week. As you can see, most of it is gone, because once you have infection prevention and control activities, persons know you have good things on board. This one here is Meet Your IP. So it was just raising awareness to who our infection prevention is, what we do, and who we work with. So as an infection preventionist, I work with a cross-section, with everybody in healthcare, if the person's in the ministry. Why? Because our role is cross-cutting. And it says, when I became an infection preventionist since 2011, and I can tell you I'm loving my job.
I could see. I could definitely see.
These two posters speak of the dirty dozens. So this is from the infection control unit. Again, it is a way of educating staff in a fun way. This is what the microbe looks like, and this is how it came about and how you can prevent yourself from getting infected. You see, E. coli, keep this critter fenced in. It definitely needs to be fenced in because it causes all kinds of problems. Urinary tract infection for women, wound infection. I just don't like E. coli at all. And good old staff. Actually, I'm sure all my hand has staff right now. It's causing no problem for me because I am healthy. Let me become ill, and that can be, so Staphylococcus aureus, and I spoke about MRSA earlier on. So that is staph on steroid, where it becomes resistant to the antibiotic. This one was done by our safety officer, hazardous materials labeling. So again, we're trying to increase compliance to our labeling of products. So this is showing that, you see this Roxanne bottle with bleach in it? This is a definite no-no. Think of a child coming to pick this up and think it's water. So that's why now we're trying to enforce correct use of our cleaning products, not just cleaning, all our products actually, correct use of it and not those. So we have a label maker where if we're dispensing into another bottle, it is correctly labeled. So if you dispense from here into here, you have to make sure it is labeled. And this is another 28 days later. If the world stops hand hygiene, some of the things that can come about: hepatitis A, norovirus, influenza, sepsis, where the patients become very ill, COVID-19 or coronavirus, because there are different ones, monkeypox, stay where you are, don't bother come here. So, and then we have our nice little display, hand sanitizer, encouraging you to clean your hands. And infection prevention, health is in our hands. Clean those hands.
First on this runway is Model Lishma, and she is wearing a PPE gear that'll knock your socks off. Model Lishma, we're waiting for you. Yeah, ooh. Wow, it's garbage bag in couture. Yes, 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 yes. Caution everyone, caution. Yes, Model Lishma. Ooh. Have you noted the ruffles? Yes. Tell me, how stylish is this outfit? It's so hot, it's caution. Yes, model. Oh, wow. This is the sassiest runway you'll ever be next to. Shma wearing a garbage bag couture with a cautionary tape. Legging, that is. Oh, here comes our second entry. Okifa, yes. And we're seeing PPE hoodie. Oh my. Oh wow. This is exciting. Tell me about transformation. And we have a little Christmas bow. So you know this could be a great holiday gift, right? Yay! Creativity. Oh, check this out. Now this is quite stylish. Quite stylish. And the bow and Christmas ribbon adds a really nice accessorizing touch. Go on, model, you go on. Everyone give your hands, get me here the claps, yes. She's working it. Fabulous, just fabulous. What will we see next? Oh, wow, definitely. Did you say it's a wrap? It's a wrap, definitely. Come on, let's see. All right. A la robe. It's a robe and a wrap. Yes, thank you. A robe, don't turn back. Gone. Let's hear it for the models. Come on. Oh, what will we see next? Tell me the BVI-HSA isn't filled with creativity. Oh my gosh, it's Model Rochelle. And this is definitely an outfit for the Christmas party. Oh my. Yes, Model Rochelle. Oh, Model Rochelle, wow. Oh, wow. It's sachet. And the hair accessory goes too? Yes, Model Rochelle. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my. That's a very unique evening gown. That's the one I'll order. Wonderful. Tell me you're not impressed. I am so impressed. Oh, wow. Oh, check out Olive. Oh, go on, Olive. Yes. This is lovely. And notice we have the little peplum style going on there. Yes, and a cape too. Yes, Mother Olive, show them. Of course. So stylish. Yes. Exciting. And note that these are all made from garbage bags. We are recycling in a very fun way. And now we're inviting all of our models so that you can see which ones you're going to order for the Christmas party. Yes. Take a good look at these stunning outfits. Recycling and sustainability chic.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.